For full episodes as they air, listen to Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and blogtalkradio.com/Grants Rants.
Broadcasting from Hollywood, California, it's Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk.
On this episode, join me in New York City on a trip and all the drama that comes with it. I run into Chianesi and Granny June Flori to talk of Vanderpump Rules, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and New York, Unreal, and the Downton Abbey exhibit. Grab a coat, here we go.
There's the nor'easter. It's already starting to shift to the coastline and start to intensify just offshore tonight, getting help from some more energy coming in from the Midwest. And by 5 a.m., we're going to start to see that snow moving up the coast.
So I don't know what's going on with my flights. I'm getting nervous because I had one flight cancel on the American Airlines. I picked up another one at a 6:30 a.m. flight, getting in around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's really important that I get to New York. I'm going there on business. I have a business summit I have to be at on Thursday. I'm leaving on Wednesday. Something to do with the storm is just, I don't know what to do. I'm also going to see my grandmother and my parents over the weekend. I mean, it's important to me to be here. I bought tickets for a museum. So I'm really hoping that this will get off the ground, literally. I'm going to run to LAX, and I guess I'm in some type of a standby. It says standby on Delta, but I've spoken with Delta and through the travel agent, and they said I for sure have a seat, but nobody knows what that is because it's not on my confirmation, but I do have a confirmation. Oh. Well, somehow I made it. I'm in line. I'm in a Sky Priority line. And I'm getting ready to take off. So far, so good. Nothing's really been said about, like, I talked to the pilot and was like, we're going, right? We're going. And he's like, yeah, no, we're going. So we'll see what happens. Of course, it's like it's up to me, But I'm waiting in line, waiting to board. Every time they talk, I get nervous. I'm like, stop talking. I just want to hear now arriving.
It's our pleasure to have you with us today. 4 hours and 45 minutes of actual flying time today. Should be a real nice ride today. It looks like right now we're planning on getting into New York about 2:30 or so a few minutes early. I do anticipate maybe some delays, but we'll let you know if that happens. Otherwise, plan on getting into New York just a few minutes early. There's a little snow going on there, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be real bad at all.
So after all that, it's not even that bad.
Pleasure to welcome you to New York, where the local time is approximately 2:10. What a nice landing. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your carry-on items stowed until the aircraft is parked at the gate and the captain has turned off.
So I'm here at baggage. I walked off the plane and I'm freezing. But there's no way I can fly in long underwear. That'd be so uncomfortable, but I'm so cold. Somehow I have to open up my bag in the middle of baggage claim at JFK and find at least some type of an umbrella, because it's kind of changed over to rain, and one scarf minimum.
This is a Manhattan-bound E Express train. The next stop is Kew Gardens Union Turnpike.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
I'm walking through sub-degree temperatures. I went to a nice dinner, something different. I went to go barbecue dinner, which was kind of nice. But, man, the sting of the snow coming at me, it's so wet and biting. Whew. Walking back, I'm thinking of going to a quick bar to grab a glass of wine and then go back to my hotel. It's just way too cold to do much else. Every time I come to New York, I make new friends, and I always try to keep up with my longtime friends. I've been friends with Chris Chianesi since high school, and we've stayed in touch. He's been on episode number 54, and we had to get together for lunch, of course, and we couldn't not talk about Bravo. So after lunch, we went back to my hotel, and we just turned on the microphone and just gabbed away. So I'm joined by my friend Chris. We just came back from lunch in Hell's Kitchen.
Yes, Ariba, Hell's Kitchen staple.
Yes, it was fun. I'm like finally settled here, and I had a meeting yesterday and meetings this morning. So like now I get to have some fun, and so we had a good lunch, and we were talking about of course, Vanderpump Rules and Beverly Hills. And I was like, no, wait, hold on. We can't. We have to talk about it on the podcast. It's going to be good. Because I genuinely, like, Chris loves Vanderpump Rules.
Love it. I just really got into it this past year. Started at the beginning. I'm all caught up. It is television gold.
You started from the beginning?
The very beginning. Yeah. I follow all of them on their socials. I'm obsessed.
Okay, following them on all their socials is a lot of work because I know for a fact that Sheena just posts.
I mean, like, Sheena posts a picture like every 2 minutes.
Every 2 minutes of the same thing. I mean, I can't keep up with them. In fact, so much so like I don't really follow any of them to be honest. But I do. I think I follow Lala. I like Lala a lot.
I live for Lala.
Gorgeous girl.
Beautiful. And she's got a good head on her shoulders, I think.
She does, yeah.
In the past, I've had some issues with her, but I think she's really doing well for herself this season. It seems like she's grounded more. So
we talked about it at lunch. So the reunion's been taped. How do we feel about this season? Like, you know, I mean, I hate to see it go in a way. I've been so entertained.
It's not been my favorite season. But, I mean, I've just been so just inundated with Vanderpump Rules this whole year.
Yeah.
Self-inundated because I'm obsessed with it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Why not? But I feel like not as much has happened this season. There have been some big things. You know, Stassi's put her foot in her mouth as usual.
Really don't like that girl. I really don't care for her.
She's chaotic. And like Jax is Jax. So like there's no reason to hate Jax now because we all know who he is. We know he's going to cheat on whoever he's with. We know he's going to wait for that person to break up with him. He's never going to break up with the person. We know who he is. So, like, Brittany, I'm sorry, but, like, I have no sympathy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is great. You want to be on the TV show and stay on the TV show. And
it's true, yeah.
So good for you. It's sort of smart, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've said before, I think it's such a bad look that she's, like, always, like, fighting after him. I didn't know that her father didn't know any of the details.
And, allegedly.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, really, like the father has no clue, but yet the mother flew out. Like, he doesn't wonder why. He doesn't ask, like, oh, my daughter and my wife flew out to California. I wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And then Jax being 40, it's a lot. I mean, not really, but it's close enough.
But also, he's a liar, though. They, like, when he... Oh, you didn't see this week's, did you?
Not yet. I've been traveling. I've been stuck in
It's just like, you can't believe anything he says. If he... Well, they said this in the preview, so you
can say it.
He said he got a job offer in Tampa to do social media for a hockey team or something, but he doesn't know he can't say any of the specifics, like what it's for, what team, like when it is, where. You know, he's trying to get out of this relationship. He's done. And like,
oh my God, that's so random. A hockey team in Florida?
He says, hockey's my passion. But Brittany's like, you never told me that. And he apparently she working with kids with special needs is her passion. And he's like, you never told me that. And she's like, I tell you that all the time. So like they don't listen to each other at all.
I wish I was caught up. I'm 1 week behind. I've just been traveling. I feel guilty. I always try to come on the show with all my facts, but yeah, this is a special one. Vanderpump Rules. I'm enjoying it. But you know what? I'm okay with it going because we're gonna get Real Housewives in New York.
Oh my God, my girls.
So that is gonna fill that void for me of just like topical, like mess, like just voyeuristic, like I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I know what's gonna happen, the big stuff, but like I'm surprised that it looks like Bethany and Carol are out of it.
Yeah, that's what it appears. I don't know.
Not off the show, but out of friendship.
Yeah, they had a falling out. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting season. I mean, especially with Luann's whole situation, which I'm going to see her in concert.
Yeah, tell me about how this came to be. So you're going to actually see Luann.
I am.
In the cabaret performance.
I am. I've never been more excited about anything.
I bet. So, like, what are your expectations going into the show? Like, obviously it's been on social media.
A rehabilitating of an image is what I'm expecting, or an attempted rehabilitating of an image.
Well, she's rumored to have made jokes about her arrest.
I'm sure she has.
Yeah.
I mean, she's working her tail off to sort of like make this not as big of a deal as it is. It's a big deal. She like screamed at a police officer and was like, I mean, it's troubling what she was doing. She was wasted, and she obviously has some sort of a problem that she seems to be getting a hold on. So that's good. I just hope she really is getting a hold on it, and it's not just for the cameras or anything, because, you know, she always tries to keep this facade of everything being so put together.
Oh,
the Countess.
Yeah.
Like,
but you're going to see a live performance in a rap version of Money Can't Buy You Class.
I can't wait.
Oh, the benefits of living in New York. Clearly.
I just can't wait to see Sonia just up on stage. You know she's going to be up on stage.
She'll never miss a show, that one.
No.
She'll never miss a show.
My goal is to get a picture with at least one of them.
Oh, yeah. Just hang around long enough. They'll do it.
Yeah. Hang out by the bar.
On the other side of the United States here at Beverly Hills, the season is limping its way through, in my opinion.
Oh, God.
Lisa Rinna, I'm happy that she's found so much success in her life, but she's not doing anything for the show. I've talked about this on the show a lot. I've shared my thoughts a lot on Beverly Hills. Erica with the book, I recently went over to AfterBuzz TV and gave a review in the most recent episode at the time of recording the show, the one where nothing happened. Which one is that?
Right, which episode?
Yeah,
where they talk about being late again. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to even think about it. It was the one where Dorit was walking around your house in that Gucci fanny pack.
Where the head fell off of the thing she gave as a gift to PK.
Oh, that was earlier. That demonic piece, yes. No, but that PK, the whole thing, I always say, let's talk about the husband, but I don't know if I can.
I'm so obsessed with like talking like Dorit these days. Like I just try to do it in everyday life because I think she's got this crazy. PK, here, PK Jagger.
Oh.
It's so strange.
The other day, 2 episodes ago, she was walking down the stairs. All these shots, like just the home, wide shots of the interior, and then you hear her go, "Baby." And he's like, so good. I'm down, a big fat thing on the couch. I'm down here. I'm down here if you want to come down. And then so she comes down with the designs, and he's like, it's going to be called Beverly Beach.
And her eyes like come out of her. She's like, what?
Of course, that bitch did everything the husband recommended for her to do. Didn't stand her ground. Mm-mm. I've said this before. I've lived in LA for about 10 years. Where the hell is Beverly Beach? Someone show me where Beverly Beach is.
Is it a real place?
No. It's made up. It's a fictional land. PK wanted it to be fictional, so anything can happen. I'm like, okay.
Oh God.
I mean, this PK, this whole show is just this show is their life. I mean, it really is. And the whole thing with Lisa and Erica, I took Erica's side with the whole thing with Teddy. I think Teddy needs to learn her place. I'm sick of it.
I feel like with Teddy, they dropped her into the lion's den. She's so different from all these women. She's a career accountability coach, for God's sake, and to put her on a Real Housewives, like,
who the hell wants to see that? She's a one season. She's a Catherine Edwards.
Yeah.
She's a one season in and out.
I did feel bad when Erica snapped at her, but like, you have to know not to come for Erica. She obviously has never watched the show before. Poor Eileen last year.
I know. Speaking of Eileen, love seeing Eileen.
That was good seeing Eileen. Did she
great.
get fired, or was she just not?
I think it's probably mutual. Yeah. But I mean, I know that girl literally is working her ass off and working 2 soaps. She's a mom and like, I mean, honestly, I love it. She doesn't need that show the way Dorit and the way Lisa Rinna need that show for their families and their businesses. So, like, I'm all for it. Good for her. She doesn't need to be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I like Eileen.
And that's why I like worship Camille, of course, because
Camille's great this season.
She's asked back every season. She doesn't need it, so she doesn't do it. When she's ready, she'll do it. But yet, she can come to all the parties. Mm-hmm. She can mix it up if she wants. I love it. She's good. She's in the best position of any housewife.
Yeah.
She doesn't even need the money. Like someone like Nene Leakes, like contrary to what she wants people to believe, she needs that money.
Yeah,
she's going in there making millions of dollars to do that show. She's the one of the top paid. If she didn't need it, she would just do it for fun.
Right.
Like Kyle. I mean, I'm sure Kyle, if you look at Kyle and Mauricio's income, their number one source of income is not Real Housewives.
No, it's from the agency, right?
Yeah, I would hope, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So, Well, those are our thoughts. You're just listening to us gabbing. We've seen this conversation. It's just, this is a different episode of Grant's Rants. This is just a casual, I'm here, I'm visiting. Everyone knows how much I love being in New York. And, of course, I want to run into people that speak our language.
Yes.
So that's what it is. So, Chris, anything you want to promote? Anything while you're on?
No, just making original comedic content on Seriously Chris YouTube username, and
there you go, YouTube.
Instagram Seriously Chris, and be on the lookout for some new cool little projects coming out. Just
cool, yeah.
Working and creating.
Yeah, and you can find Chris. Chris has been on the show before. We've talked all about his original content, his theater background, just New York living and hacking it here. Mm-hmm. So take a look for that show. All you have to do is search for Chris.
Seriously Chris. Chris Chianesi, Seriously Chris. SeriouslyChris.com.
yeah, and Grant's Rants, Chris Chianesi. So there you go. Yeah. You can find it easily. Thanks for chatting.
Oh, Grant, I'm so happy we were able to do this.
I know.
It's so fun.
I'm so thrilled. We're a beautiful view of the city. We're just gossiping.
It's a warm day today. He just missed the blizzard. Well, you experienced the blizzard, but...
Yeah, barely. Yeah, I know. At least it's behind us. I think myself and the rest of New York is hopefully are we done now with the cold weather?
That's what we thought a couple weeks ago, too.
I know. I hope so. Because, I've been here and everyone's like, oh, you miss LA. I'm like, not at all. LA's had a huge rainstorm. The mudslides are there. It's cold. So I'm like, it's winter is winter, man. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. All right. More chatting to come. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Grant.
Well, I had a good day overall. I will say it was nice to see Chris. I had a bunch of meetings for work, so it was very productive. Then went out shopping. I had to do a bunch of shopping. Not really, but I went to two of my favorite stores over here. One of them being Massimo Dutti, which is one of the very few. There's two in America, so of course there's one here, and one in OC, so random. But I'm definitely planning to go out tonight. It's a Friday night in New York, which I'm very seldomly here for, if at all. So we've got hopefully a good night planned. It's cold, but it's manageable. And now I'm going out just to kind of see where the night takes me, how the city finds me tonight, which I'm really excited about. And actually most excited about tomorrow, being able to see Granny June and my parents. Should be a good time, and really looking forward to tomorrow. But for now, we got a Friday night in New York. Let's do it right. When I am out in New York, I am out all night. I hardly sleep at all. I wait all year for these nights. But I definitely had to get a little bit of sleep because coming on a train 3 hours from Rhode Island, my parents and Granny June Flori are headed into the city. And she'll be on the show after this break. I hope you're enjoying this different episode of The Rants. Let me know. I'm sure you will. And we'll be back in a moment.
You're listening to Grant's Rants. Subscribe and spread the word. There are a lot more rants to come. Listen anytime on all major podcasting platforms. And now, back to the show.
What an ordeal. I planned this months ahead of time. And of course, they're here. But I went to the wrong train station. I thought they were at Grand Central. But no, they're at Penn Station. So thank God I know the subways, and I got here as fast as I could. And we're arriving. Hey. Oh.
Aren't you cold?
Hi. The train that I had to take here didn't get off in this building. The train got off on that block, so it was a block away. All underneath us is all the...
Yeah. Oh,
good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Welcome.
Yeah. Freezing?
No, because I've been running around for the last hour and a half.
Godfrey.
Okay.
All right.
We're here. We made it to New York to see you.
So what's
Isn't that
up?
great?
Cool glasses.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
So what's the first thing?
Well, I figured.
The sweater you get on. Nice. Got a nice window here, too. You? Hey, got just to stay for a night. All the bamboo here. That's all bamboo.
Oh, they got a hot tub down there.
I have a surprise for you. It's at 3 o'clock. That's why we got to get moving. But yeah, so we have a nice afternoon planned.
Good. All right. Well,
It's worth the wait.
oh, good.
All right, let's get going.
By the way, you like my hair like this?
Yeah.
I like it better than going down. I think it's
Yeah, it looks good. It's all up. Yeah.
It gives me more life than going down on one side. It's like those old ladies' hairdos. I don't want that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Downton Abbey.
Yeah, I bought all of us tickets so we can go to the Downton Abbey exhibit. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Great.
So we've got 10 minutes till it's time because it's 2:49. It's a 3 o'clock reservation, so we might have to stand for a few minutes, but...
That's okay. Wow, that was nice. Thank you, Grant.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's nice.
What do you think? Look at all the fake food.
We even have a pot boiling over there.
Yeah. After the Downton Abbey exhibit, we all got in a taxi, and my grandmother and I couldn't help but talk about Lifetime's Unreal. We talked all about Quinn.
She acts as though she's very hard-boiled. She even looks that way, you know.
She looks rough.
Yeah, she looks it. But deep down inside, she's not too happy because she's all alone, really. Nobody really cares about her, you know.
Yeah, and she's got the younger version of herself, that Madison.
Yeah, he's got that young girl, and and that really hurts.
Sleeping with producers and having sex behind the scenes. Do you believe that all these people sleep with each other, though, behind the scenes? You know what I mean? Like, if they're all sleeping with each other on this show, it seems fake to me.
I don't know. I bet that goes on just the same.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You should know. You worked on one of those shows. Does that happen behind the scenes, or?
I don't know.
Right side or left side, sir?
Be on the left.
Left side?
Yeah. We had a lot to say, but it just didn't seem to work. We kept getting interrupted. Well,
I don't know how we
this is
can.
interesting. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know how we can do anything.
Anything else you want to tell? I know. Maybe we can't. We both agreed that we had to get on the phone and talk about this further. So we got on a call a few days after the trip, and we talked about Unreal and a little bit about the Downton Abbey exhibit. So we were talking earlier about Unreal in the taxi, and I wanted to keep the conversation going. So let's talk more about this show. Now that we've seen this week's episode, very action-packed episode. Quinn, very busy. She slept with that guy, one of the bachelors, August, and now he was claiming sexual harassment. Very timely.
Oh, yeah. Now, yeah, she's up to her old tricks again, you know. Now, Quinn got Madison, the young girl, to give her Gary's email. And they found out that a lot of stuff about Gary, so that Quinn now is blackmailing him. And so now she's got complete control over the show. So she's back in her old place again, you know, running the show.
I liked the way they did that scene, the way she just commanded the room. She brought everybody in. It was a big scene. She brought all of the crew into the room just to watch this guy, like, completely falter and fail.
Yeah, I know it. She really took over, believe me.
She's a great character. She's a good character.
Oh, God, she looks like a gangster's moll, you know? if you know what a gangster's moll ever look like. Very tough looking, you know? And that's how she is. She's a tough broad. She even looks tough, but she plays the part to a T, you know?
Yeah.
She's really good. She's a person you'll love to hate. And, of course, she's got that little Rachel under her thumb at all times. And, of course, Rachel... I guess she was attacked by somebody when she was young.
Yeah.
Sexually, attacked or whatever. And she just found out that her father knew about it. So she couldn't believe that her father knew about it and never let her know that he knew about it. So she's so fragile, you know.
That Rachel, she's so fragile. And, you know, we talked about this on a phone call one night, but they make her look so bad on this show. That actress, I know she's probably more than happy to have this role, but it does nothing for her in the looks department. I mean,
it's terrible.
Her wardrobe, the hair, it's just a rat's nest. She really looks like total crap, but I guess that's what they're going for.
That's the part she's got to play. But you really feel like giving her a shove, you know, and saying, you know, come get with it, girl. You know, don't be so humble and so fragile that every little thing bothers you.
Yeah.
She falls apart at the drop of a hat, and then that Quinn has her back under her control again. She can't get away from that Quinn and her control. And, of course, she's been controlled by her mother psychologically because her mother is a psychologist. So she wants to talk to her father now after finding out that her father knew about this sexual assault that she had when she was young. So she goes home and she kidnaps her father out of the house, gets him out from under her mother's spell of keeping him on drugs.
Drugged up,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really common. I looked into something like that earlier for another story I was working on. That's really common. People keep people keep people under their control through tons of medication. They just keep them so doped up that they don't have any opinion, no control. It's common.
Well, you know, she had him on lithium, which is a very, very dangerous drug to get off of. And, of course, now she takes him out of the home and thinks that she's going to make his life better. But, you know, she's getting him off all these drugs, abruptly, which is not healthy. And now, of course, what I expected at the end of the episode, her father is missing. Mm-hmm. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew he was going to disappear somewhere or wander off. And then she's going to be even in more trouble.
Right.
She can't escape getting into trouble and feeling guilty about things, you know?
What do you make of the Bachelorette they have cast, this Serena?
Oh, gosh. She has sex with this contestant that she didn't realize he had a $400,000 bet that he would be the first one to have sex with her. And, of course, when she finds that out, I think it was Rachel that tells her this, she finds out that he had her on a bet. She goes back and tells him, you weren't the first one. You're not going to win the $400,000.
Yeah.
You weren't the first one. The jockey was the first one.
Yeah, that's the thing. This show's interesting because there's so many storylines and so many characters. And
I know, it's almost hard to follow.
The lead characters all have their own story, which is great. But then at the same time, you're kind of following like a bachelorette story because there really is this person looking for love on the show, and every week you think they're gonna go with one way and then they go with the other.
Yeah,
so it's almost like a show within a show.
Yeah,
Unreal is an interesting show, and it's not too late for people to get into it if you haven't watched it because it's only on season 3 and you can really kind of just pick it up.
Well, I find it intriguing to watch. You have to listen very, very carefully because sometimes they have little innuendos that they give to each other. And if you're not listening or you don't hear it that well, you can miss out on what's happening.
Yeah.
She keeps changing the men that she wants to pick. And, of course, you know, she was interested in was it the Frenchman there? What was his name?
Well, the one with the man bun. Is that the one that you're talking about? August. Yeah.
August, yeah.
I can't believe
it. She was really interested in August. But, of course, Quinn had to go and and ride the horse with August, you know?
Yeah.
She has to ride the horse with August, so she spoils her idea of who August really is, and she's turned off on August, you know?
Yeah. The one part of the show that is almost unwatchable to me is the cheese factor of all these stupid challenges these men have to do, but then they've got to bring in that host. And I know they make fun of that host. That Quinn always makes a comment, but that host is so bad. Maybe he's cast that way. For all I know, he could be a fantastic actor, but just he takes it so seriously, and he's so into these, and he's trying to explain like these very stupid scenarios that we're supposed to care about. They have to carry her across a raging river, or they have to fight.
I know.
They have to fight to get her out of some type of a fake tree house. She's throwing roses at them.
Oh God, I know it's crazy. But you know, I think he's trying to emulate the guy that really does that on The Bachelor.
That Chris Harrison. I don't care for him either. So,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I wonder how true to form this is to the real Bachelor.
I think it's pretty close, except for except for maybe not all the sex, but I mean, and I would just maybe the sex, but not all the killing from last season. Like there was like a killing. I don't know anyone who's that desperate to get a reality show made to keep secrets to have to kill people off.
I know. I mean, that's going a little bit too far.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, but I mean, I think all the twists and turns and all the innuendos and all the little behind-the-scenes things that go on, I think they are, as you know, true to form.
Yeah.
A lot of these people have to sign, you know, papers saying that they will do whatever they have to do to be on this show. It's too bad that they think they're going to get, you know, famous from this, because they're not.
Yeah. Let's switch totally to a completely different subject, but on the trip, we were at Downton Abbey, the exhibit, and if you're in New York, it's over on 57th Street by Columbus Circle. And I recommend it to anyone who's a fan of the show, but also of the aristocracy and, you know, seeing how things were done in the past without schlepping through a museum. You know, it's a little bit more fun than like an old museum. So, you know, what did you make of it? What were your impressions of the Downton Abbey exhibit?
Well, I was very impressed with it. It's too bad it was so crowded, but it couldn't be helped because of the bad weather in the previous week. But I thought it was very interesting. I was very impressed with it. I thought it was very well done. I was impressed with the life-size images of the figures on the screen of Carson and the housekeeper and Lord and Lady Grantham. Mm-hmm. You know, they appeared as though they were right there in the room with you, talking to you. You know.
Yeah.
That was quite well done and impressive. And everything was exactly authentic. The way the way that the sets were set up.
Yeah.
The dining table was beautiful. And they explained, but I already knew, how every piece of silver and every glassware was measured to the T. They had to be so many inches apart and so many inches from the edge of the table. They had to all be in exactly the correct space. Even the chairs were measured from the distance of the table.
Yeah, there's nothing more like impressive than actually seeing a formally set, correctly measured table. Like, I can't imagine that I've encountered anything like that in my life where it matches, like, you know, in any restaurant or experience where it matches the exact measurement. So it was really something to see. It was really almost like a piece of art to look at the way that table was set with the flowers. It was so immersive.
Anybody that wants to know the correct way of setting a table can look at that, and they will get all the answers, because they were very, very particular to the inch of where all these serving pieces and glassware had to be. Yeah. And they had to know the exact place where the first fork was going to be used, the first glass was going to be used. And of course, the people that sat at those tables, they had to know the correct pieces and the correct glassware to use in the correct order.
Yeah.
So you had to be, have some kind of culture to be able to sit at those tables and act correctly.
Yeah.
It was really, a lesson all in itself. That went along with the culture of that time.
Right.
If you didn't know it, you were in big trouble. You could not sit at a table like that and dine and drink. If you didn't
you'd be embarrassed. It's intimidating. Something like that is intimidating.
It is.
This whole exhibit was really immersive. They had the kitchen, it's just like the set from the show. Carson's office, a bedroom, the dining room. I have to say, I recommend checking it out. It's really neat, and you can take pictures in there. The only thing I would say is they had tons and tons of costumes, but it was a little even my father said the same thing. It was a little very female heavy with how much stuff they had for the women clothing wise. It wasn't really balanced out. They had, a handful of things for the male costumes, but I guess, the effort was really put forth with women's evening gowns and big coats and, overall.
The thing is that women had more outfits than the men.
That's true.
The men wore mostly just the same thing, suits with ties and vests and things like that. But the women always changed. They always had different gowns and dresses on. So naturally, there was going to be more outfits for women. But I was very, very impressed with the gowns and the dresses because they weren't cheap costumes that they wore on the set. These dresses and gowns were beautifully made, with all kinds of beading and sequins and everything on them. They were very, very well made. They weren't cheaply constructed for the sets. They were beautiful gowns.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed with them.
The whole exhibit was great, I will say. I recommend it to anyone who's interested. It's they've extended it through September 3rd. So if you find yourself in New York between now and September, the tickets are affordable. You can get them online. And I recommend going. Do you recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, and anyone that was a fan of Downton Abbey, it's really nice to go through there and have all those memories brought back to you and, feel as though you've actually gone to visit the Crawley family. And like I said, with the talking that they did, life-size people talking, you feel as though they're really there with you,
Yeah.
I think it was very well done.
Well, I'm glad we got to do it together. You emailed me afterwards after the trip, and you're like, oh, it's nice that we get to make more memories together. And I agree. It was nice.
Oh, it was wonderful. And you planned the day, like I said, to a T so that we could fit everything in. We had a lovely meal and in a nice restaurant, and everything was great. It was wonderful.
Well, this was better to chat this way because we were running all over the city. So I'm glad that we got to catch up and kind of do our post-mortem. So thanks for chatting.
Oh, anytime. I'm happy to talk with you and say hi to all my fans if they're out there.
Yes, I'm sure they are. All right, let's head back to New York.
Bye. See you later.
Bye. Love you too.
So good to see you.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
This has been Grant's Rants. Support the Rants on Patreon. Follow us on Twitter @It's Grant's Rants. Cover art created by Howie Ronay. Voiceover by Aw Yeah. Original theme music composed by Alexander Arntzen. The Grant Michael Collection.